standing here before you to announce the death of an 11-month-old child.
She didn't even get to celebrate her first birthday. Do you know how sad that is? She deserves justice.
It's probably the worst thing I'll have to do.
Where they were able to identify where the female went with her baby in a location where she entered the GE campus. Halo Branton was reported to us missing yesterday, located in the afternoon, and subsequently passed away at Ellis Hospital. I'd like to send our condolences, thoughts and prayers to Halo's family on the loss of Halo. Yesterday was a difficult day.
The quiet weekend in Schenectady shattered on Saturday night with the disappearance of 11-month-old Halo Branton. The subsequent discovery of her lifeless body on Sunday afternoon at the General Electric campus cast a dark cloud over the community. This tragedy sparked a flurry of questions and a desperate search for answers, leaving a trail of grief and a complex web of events to untangle. The narrative begins at the home of Dante Gregory on Campbell Avenue, where a family gathering was taking place on Saturday evening. Persia Nelson, Halo's mother, was present with her daughter. According to Dante's family, an interaction between Nelson and Dante transpired, prompting Nelson to leave abruptly. Isaac Gregory, Dante's brother, recounted the last moments he witnessed Nelson with Halo. "I saw her walk into the bathroom, and that was the last time I saw Persia that night," he stated. Dante's mother corroborated this, adding that she saw Nelson leave the bathroom and then the house with the baby. The timeline indicates that Nelson left with Halo sometime around 10 p.m. Upon realizing their absence, immediately began searching for them. Their concern deepened with each passing hour. Meanwhile, a desperate search for Halo commenced, fueled by an Amber Alert issued shortly after 10 a.m. on Sunday, including Schenectady Police, New York State Police, and the FBI scoured the area around 12th Street and Campbell Avenue, where Halo was last seen. Tragically, the search yielded a heartbreaking outcome. Around 1 p.m. on Sunday, authorities located Halo's body in a 10-foot deep pipe access area filled with water and mud at the G campus, approximately 3 miles from where she was last seen. Paramedics rushed her to the hospital, but she was pronounced dead.
It took some time, but officers were able to connect an address on Campbell Avenue to the female, and this ultimately led officers to the dead end of 12th Street, where they were able to identify where the female went with her baby in a location where she entered the GE campus. Halo Branton was reported to us missing yesterday, located in the afternoon, and subsequently passed away at Ellis Hospital. I'd like to send our condolences, thoughts and prayers to Halo's family on the loss of Halo. Yesterday was a difficult day. At 11:04 p.m. on March 9th, the Schenectady County Unified Communications Center received a call from GE Security that there was a female trespasser on scene and didn't know how she got there, and she claimed to have lost her child. Responding officers interviewed the female, now known to be Persia Nelson, and began looking for the child. Unable to locate the child, they requested additional resources to assess where to expand their search. Once that location was established, a thorough search was conducted using canines to track, drones, and personnel on foot. At this point, officers were looking for a lost 1-year-old child. After hours of searching and unable to locate her, state police and state forest rangers were contacted to assist with conducting a grid search on the GE campus. As the morning came, it was also decided that we could not rule out an abduction or the child being exposed to some other dangerous situation, so we decided to put out an Amber Alert. At 12:30 p.m., one of the search teams on the GE campus found Halo inside a utility tunnel structure located on the GE campus, where life-saving efforts were performed, but unfortunately she never regained her vitals and was declared deceased at 1:24 p.m.
Adding another layer of complexity to the tragedy, Persia Nelson was arrested and charged with murder and manslaughter in connection with Halo's death. An autopsy revealed hypothermia as the cause of death. The news sent shockwaves through the community. Tears flowed freely as people grappled with the senseless loss of an innocent child.
Persia Nelson was charged last evening with 1 count of manslaughter. An additional charge of murder in the 2nd degree, depraved indifference, is being filed right now.
That this child died of exposure and hypothermia. The decision was made to file additional charges. The baby was dropped into this utility tunnel from a height of about 8 feet to the bottom of the tunnel where there was standing water. The baby did not drown. The baby was in the water, which came up to her chest and around her head. The mother was found in a GE security building, which was heated.
So there's a lot of criteria that has to be met before an Amber Alert could be issued. And in this case, as was mentioned earlier, became aware this possibly could be abduction and just not a lost child. That's when the determination was made to send the Amber Alert out. So the initial alert, when it was going to be sent, should have gone out at 10:10. That alert went to media and to other law enforcement agencies.
Tributes poured in for Halo, remembering her infectious smile and bright future that was tragically cut short. The Gregory family, the last known people to see Halo alive, became central figures in the investigation. While understandably overwhelmed by grief, they were called upon to cooperate and provide their account of the events leading up to Nelson's departure. The district attorney's office emphasized the importance of their testimony for uncovering the truth. As the investigation unfolded, questions lingered. What transpired between Nelson and Dante that led to her sudden departure? Did Nelson intentionally leave with the intention of harming Halo, or was there another explanation? The investigation also revealed that Dante was reportedly distraught upon learning of Halo's disappearance and expressed concern for her well-being. The media frenzy surrounding the case often simplifies complex human narratives into sensational headlines.
Under such profoundly sad circumstances. These are charges filed against Ms. Nelson at this time. They are only accusations. She is entitled to the presumption of innocence and all of her other rights, including the right ultimately to a fair trial.
It's crucial to note that domestic situations are rarely black and white. Factors like mental health, relationship dynamics, and access to resources can all play a role in tragic outcomes. Halo's death exposed a vulnerability within the community. It highlighted the importance of support systems for families struggling with their internal complexities. The legal process will determine the extent of Persia Nelson's culpability in Halo's death. However, the true cost of this tragedy extends far beyond the courtroom. Halo's family will forever grapple with the loss of their precious child. The Gregory family endures emotional turmoil amidst the investigation and public scrutiny. Mother faces charges in baby's death. Schenectady, New York mother, 24-year-old Persia Nelson, is facing serious accusations after the death of her 11-month daughter, Halo Branton. Nelson pleaded not guilty to an initial manslaughter charge on Monday. However, after an autopsy revealed hypothermia as the cause of death, an additional murder charge was filed. Halo's disappearance sparked a citywide search with an Amber Alert issued Sunday morning. Authorities combed the area for hours before tragically finding the little girl on the General Electric campus. Despite attempts to save her, Halo was pronounced dead at the hospital. According to a criminal complaint, investigators believe Nelson may have intentionally harmed Halo. The complaint alleges Nelson dropped the baby down a deep pipe access point filled with water and mud, located several miles away from where Halo was last seen. Police apprehended Nelson on Sunday. Local media captured footage of the brief court hearing, where prosecutors described a disturbing scenario. They allege Nelson left Halo in the pipe to essentially die. This is a developing story, and details may emerge as the investigation continues. While Lieutenant Mascherone did not disclose who reported Halo missing, the New York State Police issued an Amber Alert expressing grave concern for the child's safety. Everyone can relate to a year-old child being helpless. The baby did not drown, said Schenectady County District Attorney Robert Carney. New York State Police said there was an error in the system, and this was the first time this error happened. But if the alert had gone out earlier, it would not have impacted the case. Nelson is being held on $500,000 cash bail or $1 million bond and is in Schenectady County Jail.
Judge Falatico arraigned Ms. Nelson. She was held on $500,000 cash, $1 million secured bond, or $5 million partially secured.
Adding to the initial confusion, authorities initially reported finding Halo safe and unharmed after canceling the Amber Alert. However, their social media posts have since been updated to simply state that Halo has been located. The young mother was at her boyfriend Dante Gregory's family's home on Campbell Avenue in Schenectady before she unexpectedly left with Halo. Halo Branton, an infant reported missing on Saturday night, was tragically found deceased on Sunday afternoon on the General Electric campus in Schenectady. Her mother, Persia Nelson, is facing charges related to her death.